Hi everyone, it is Daryl Januszewski, or Daryl J here. Right now I'm wearing the camera as a headband because I want to show you an update on my fabric marker art. So as you know, I am the founder of the Kawaii 365 blog and the street artist that did that project in 2016-2017 here in Red Deer, and I specialize in cartooning and cute art. So as you know, I have a lot of clothes that I decorate with this kind of stuff. You can see right here, and I have some others there as well. And with regular washing, they've been fading. So with fabric markers, I'm going to update them all and do a little video of it for you. So thank you for following the blog religiously, and without further ado, I'm going to start filling these in. So they've been all recently washed. They're all clean. I've been a little leery about wearing them when they're fading though. I just like freshness and sharpness. As you can see here, the black outline on the cloud's really making a difference already. I didn't realize how gray he was turning. Even though kawaii art is mostly in pastel, I would say. As you can see, black is a big part of it for the little extra details there. Just gonna start grabbing my other colors here. And wow, look how vibrant that is. Just look at the difference that makes. It's going to put some red instead of pink on the little planet's cheeks here. Use pink for the other ones though. And each of these fabric markers has, I don't know if you can see that here, but each of the fabric markers has two tips, one wide one and one narrow one. So for the smaller details like this, using the more narrow one. Sorry if the camera is not getting everything perfectly here. I can't actually see what the camera sees right now. Just going to tilt my head down in case you weren't able to see that from before. This gives an interesting perspective, totally different from what I see, because my eyes are actually about 3 inches or so down from the camera. Do this one here. I'm going to do this fairly quickly as well. Not only do I not want to hold up your guys' time, but there is a little bit of physical discomfort with the camera on my head like this. I really want to share this with fans of this art, because it's for you guys that I created the Kawaii 365 project. I mean, I remember how nervous I was when I started out, but you fans have just made it so awesome, and thank you so much for social media follows and you know, sharing and following me on Instagram and more than one Facebook group for sure. You guys have made this artist's life worth it, and for that I thank you. I'm going to fill it a little bit yellow on the moon actually. There we go. I think he was a little faded from last time. He, she, it. When it comes to the moon, does it really have a gender? Probably not. There we go. If you're wondering what that background noise is, I have the TV on. Just watching Global. I don't really know what show is on right now because I'm paying more attention to this. I apologize if the background noise is a little distracting. Okay, I'm already almost done this one. It's got to do some little touch-ups here. Like this little planet starting to fade. Just make it a little more vibrant. There we go. I missed the spot with the black on this one. And I want to ease your guys' minds that this one is the most complicated one here. So once this one's done, we're all good. Every other one I have after this is going to be a little easier for sure. Again, I'm using the fine tip, just to make sure the thin lines stay thin. Okay. I think I'm just going to add a little bit of pink in the mouth of the cloud there. Perfect. And I just want to touch up the green on those flowers. I know the middles are purple, but I'm doing them green this time. Perfect. That looks much more vibrant like when I first did it, so hopefully you can see it there. And we're going to move on to the next one. Just going to get this one unhooked. So hopefully you can see this one here. This one is it's actually the word kawaii. I don't know if you can see that. And then 365. And I think I did her with black and purple for the most part. So the black was her eyelashes. Touch those up here. It's okay for me to use the thicker one actually on the remaining lashes, so I'll do that. First, I just want to touch up her little mouth. It's one of my favorite things when it comes to drawing kawaii. I mean, of course, there's the eyes for sure, that's fun. But one of my personal favorite parts to draw is the mouth. Because the mouths, as far as I'm concerned, with the exception of characters like Hello Kitty, the mouth is one of the most expressive parts of a character. They can express love, they can express frustration, they can express surprise, just about anything. Okay, I think for her eyes I'm going to use the thicker side of the purple pen, which is what I did before, I'm sure. It fills it much faster that way, much quicker. And you notice I did the bottoms of her eyes to show that she's smiling, that her cheeks are raised. And now I'm going to use the thinner tip here for Kawaii 365. And because I'm left-handed, I don't want to get ink all over my hand here, so I'm going to go from right to left. Which is ironic when you think about it, because that is actually how Japanese is typically written and read. But it does vary. If you're a fan of genuine manga, and you own manga novels, then you already know that they look backward to what we're used to with our graphic novels, for sure. Okay. Just going to do a little bit of pink. Yeah, this one's a nice simple one for sure. Actually, the shirt's more pink, so I think I'll do red this time. Stands out a little more against the coral color. Her cheeks were already pretty good, but everything else was starting to fade with regular washing. So that's good. Make sure there's no bleed through. Just double check. No, we're good. It's not going to come through the back of the shirt. Fantastic. Most of these clothes, as you might know, I purchased at Old Navy. Some of them from H&M. This one I actually got from Redbubble. This one's going to be a little bit of a project. I'd actually forgotten about how much of a project this one was, but I'm just going to touch them up. I just want to touch up his orange and red colors. I think all his other colors are still pretty well okay. It's just fading a little bit in the orange department, so I'll do orange and red on this guy. Start with the lighter color here, and I'm going to do the thicker tip, as you can see. So let's start about here. Just quickly fill that in. So the backstory on this one, as you know, I have an Etsy shop called Daryl Art Digital, and I'm an adult coloring book artist. And this was for one of the most recent adult coloring books that I've done. And I decided, well, one day talking with my husband Rob, I just said something kind of whimsical along the lines of, wouldn't that be funny if the coloring books that I do, if I could put those same pictures on a shirt? And he said, yeah, that would be neat. And then I thought, wait a minute, that's possible, I can do it. So I did. After I drew and inked all the pictures, and this one's a dragon. There's about 7 others that I did from that same coloring book and some other coloring books as well. I put them up on the Redbubble shop just as black and white images, and they're available on t-shirts and artboards and all kinds of stuff. So this is exactly the reason I did this, was for creative types like yourselves. If you want a black and white t-shirt, you can certainly order it from the Redbubble shop. Include a link here. It's redbubble.com/people/kawaii, then the letter N, and then the word more. But I also want to include a link in the video just so it's easier for you to see them. And yeah, I certainly encourage your guys' creativity. I mean, that's one of the coolest things about being a professional artist, is the collaboration. I've worked with other artists on a variety of projects, collaborated with clients on ideas that, you know, if we didn't work together and there was no synergy, I don't think they'd be half as cool, the ideas, I mean. So it's really awesome when you know, I draw on a shirt and then you color it in. It's like we've worked together to create a masterpiece, and I think that's just great. So I'm almost done with the orange here. I don't think the rest of him really needs to be touched up. It's just his body that was fading a little bit. And then just going to use some red for the highlights. Or I should say shadows, I guess. The highlights are little random bits of white throughout here. Just going to touch up the shadows a little bit. Want to give him a little more depth and realism. Going to do a little more shadow on his face here. Hopefully it doesn't look too much like blood. But he is a ferocious dragon, so I guess if it does look gruesome, it does make perfect sense. I was born in the year of the dragon, by the way. It's probably why I'm so fascinated with these sorts of images. Almost done touching this one up here. I might want to do a little bit of red on his tail fins as well, because I think I did them in yellow the first time and it faded right off. Same with his nose, what would you call those? Whiskers, I guess. I don't want to call them anything else but whiskers. I went a little bit out of the lines, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world, and it's totally okay. Just going to do a little bit of black in his nostrils like I had before, and then he should be good. Again, this is just a touch-up. Alright. I'll let him dry. I'm looking forward to wearing this again. I haven't worn this in a while because he's been so faded. It was kind of embarrassing. But yeah, now that he's more vibrant again, look forward to wearing him again. So we've already got 3 out of 5 done. So as I told you, most of them are from Old Navy. This t-shirt happens to be from H&M, and it's literally one of the most comfortable t-shirts I've ever worn. It just fits perfectly. It feels great. Nothing bad to be said about it. I think it was only $7 at the time too. Okay, the thin tip seems to have faded, so I'm just going to use a thicker tip now for the red. This was one of the first shirts I designed during the Kawaii 365 project, and I remember March of last year. Yes, literally over a year ago. I wore this the first time I painted at Art Battle. That was a pretty neat night at Bo's Bar and Grill. Okay. The cheeks aren't perfect, but that's okay. That's good. Fixing them up here. Do the little bleeding heart. We'll do some pink inside, but make the blood all red. It takes a little bit of cuteness out of it, makes it mildly disturbing, and I kind of like that with some of the kawaii styles you see. Just a little bit of Disturbia. A little bit of goth, maybe a little gothic Lolita going on there. Maybe like a teddy bear with one missing eye, or you know, the style where they wear like the cute colorful band-aids on their nose and that sort of thing. You can be kawaii and a little bit goth at the same time. It totally works for sure. Oh yeah, that one was a nice easy one to touch up. For the most part, it was just almost monochromatic. It's red and black. And we have one more to touch up, and that is one of my all-time favorite sweaters. Yes, I got this at Old Navy as well, and I think I got this like 5 years ago. It had no face on it, and I loved it with the heart as well. And then one day, shortly after I started the Kawaii 365 project, I decided, you know, this plain heart, it needs a face. It just does. Simple as that. So here's the black again. After a while, I feel like I'm doing a tattoo. Kind of cool, but without the vibrating needle there, so no zzz or anything going on. But with fabric markers on these clothes, it is kind of like tattooing them. Gotten a lot of compliments on this shirt too, which is a pleasant surprise because it's such a simple face with minimal effort, and maybe that's the trick. To look good is simplicity. And that's the whole foundation of kawaii, is simplicity. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you sitting with me as I touch these all up with fabric markers. Hopefully the video turned out good, since I'm wearing the webcam and a hairband. I don't have a GoPro, it's too expensive. So yeah, hopefully this is the next best thing. Thank you so much for all the follows on social media. I will include all the social media URLs at the end of this video. And thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I hope you have a great weekend, and just thank you so much. Mwah!